where I want to be. Home in Oklahoma, the land that's part of me. Lazy cattle grazing, and life is just a song. Home in Oklahoma, back home where I belong.
That blame ornery, that... hello, Jan. Where you come from?
Oh, I just dropped in to see how you were getting along.
Oh, always get along fine. Got the boys out. Going to bring the herd in.
While you sit around taking cat naps, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Who, me? I want to sleep. No siree. Just rest my eyes, that's all. The fact of the matter is, Jan, I've been trying to figure out my resignation.
Your resignation? Well, what's wrong, Gabby?
Oh, there ain't nothing wrong exactly, but I've been doing a lot of thinking since your uncle died. You're going to inherit the Flying T and got your own little place down the road and your own foreman, and I naturally figured you'd want to combine the two ranches.
And you'd like to be moving on.
Well, I ain't want to stay where I ain't wanted.
You're staying, Gabby, just as long as you want to.
Thank you, Miss Jan, thank you. Now, I'll do the very best job I know how.
You're doing a good job ruining that newspaper.
Huh? That? Well, that's last week's paper. I'm a little mite behind my reading.
Say, maybe that's what put you to sleep.
Roy's paper? Shuck, you know better than that. He's the best scooper in the country. Knows what the people want. Now, look at this. Look at this here editorial he wrote about the Hereford breeders putting better beef on the table. Look at that.
Roy! Roy! It's Ricky. He's drowning.
Ricky? Drowning? Well, let's go. Looks like you got me just in time.
Yeah. It's all right, Ricky. I'm back now, Ricky. Hurry up. He's sinking deeper all the time.
We can't just drag him out. You don't want to break his neck, do you?
You mean it's dangerous?
Well, he must be tangled in the weeds on the bottom. We got to handle him like the big ones. Get in there and tail him. Raise his hind legs.
Don't worry, Ricky. Just stay there. I'm sorry, Ricky. I'm trying not to hurt you.
Doing a little bog riding this sea.
Back to my early training.
Yeah.
Go!
Well, that's the star for you. Always around when the news breaks.
Hiya, Jan.
All right.
That's it, Duke. Keep him coming now.
Now, that'll teach you not to go wandering off like that. You might have drowned.
Duke, you better take that misfit maverick back to the ranch and dry him off. Yourself, too.
He ain't a misfit. Any more than I am. He's Prince Ricardo the 44th.
That's right. We did name him that, didn't we? Well, you better take your Royal Highness back to the barn.
Okay, Gabby.
Get along, little doggy. Get
Come
along.
on, Ricky.
Go ahead, Ricky. Hey, never mind your horse. I'll take care of him for you.
I haven't seen you much lately, Roy.
I've been sort of busy. Say, Gabby, I got a telegram from one of the big newspapers in St. Louis. They're sending a reporter out here.
What for?
They want a feature story on the Flying T. I guess they've been hearing of the kind of cattle you've been raising.
You have to talk to Miss Jan about that. You know, she's going to be in charge here.
St. Louis Chronicle has a little bigger circulation than my paper. It might pay you to get in a plug for the spring cattle auction.
Well, that's an idea. I'll let Gabby do the talking.
I wish old Sam Talbot was alive to tell it. What a story he could have told. All the years he put in building the herd and proving the breed. Well, I guess that's the way it goes. Less'n you've been in trouble or scandal or something, papers never say nothing about you until after you're dead and gone.
Funny how a boy will dream what he'll do when he's a man. He'll be a clown or acrobat. He's always got a plan. But when the years go flying past and he's grown up like the rest, then his dreams are always of the days he loved the best. And every now and then I get to thinking how I wish I was a kid again, with a willow fishing pole down at the old swimming hole, doing all the things that I did then. And say, you should have seen my little pony. He was just as cute as he could be. Yes, every now and then I get to thinking how I wish I was a kid again. Gee, I wish I was a kid again.
Jimmy, watch what you're doing. Chicken? Chicken. Pardon me, miss. Chicken. Shut that door.
Well, all right.
Here, hold this. Hold this one.
What do I do with it?
Put him in the crate. Head this one off. Shoo him over here.
Shoot! Do they take out very often?
They just arrived. You never can tell how some people are paying their bills. Come on.
I'll get the rest of them, Mr. Rogers.
Okay, Jimmy. Thanks for helping us catch him. Sorry to keep you waiting so long. I guess you want to put an ad in the paper.
Ad? Yes, I do. In 72-point type. One quick return ticket to St. Louis.
St. Louis? Then you must be the reporter Kennedy sent out here.
That's right. Connie Edwards, Chronicle.
How are you?
I was told to look up the editor here.
I'm the editor, Roy Rogers.
Say, they tell me there's quite a ranch out here, the Flying T.
Yeah, Sam Talbot's place. Best Herefords in the country. But you don't have to take my word for it. I'll run you out there.
Who fired that shot? Yeah. You do.
Were you awake, Gabby?
Of course I was awake. Just rest my eyes, that's all. Rest my eyes and thinking. I was thinking of all the bears and buffaloes I killed. Thousands of them with my bare hands, right on this very ranch. Well, what is it? What'd you come in here pestering me for?
I wanted to ask you something. A question. It's sort of important.
Well, all right. What is it?
It's about Ricky.
Well, what about it?
I thought, well, when they give Miss Jan the ranch, if she'd let me keep him.
Well, I don't know. Sit up here, son. Duke, we should never kept Ricky in the first place. Oh, his bloodlines is all right, only he just didn't turn out. That calf will never win no prizes.
He doesn't want to win any prizes. He just wants to be with me.
Well, that's just the trouble. Ricky just don't measure up. I'm afraid Miss Jan won't want him around.
Why, of course I will.
Do you mean that? Honest?
I wouldn't think of sending Ricky away.
Well, that's right nice of you, Jan. I guess you and Duke will be friends for life.
You bet we will.
Steve?
Gabby?
Hi, Jason.
Howdy.
How's law business?
Not bad, not bad. Well, I guess we're all here, are we?
We will be as soon as Roy Rogers gets here. Run along, son, and see if you can find Bob.
Hi, Roy.
Hello. Well, I see all the relatives are on hand.
These are the ranch hands and their families. There's only one relative, the niece, Jan Holloway. She's probably inside.
Thank you, Roy.
Howdy, folks.
Hello, Bob. Hold it, Jason. Here comes Roy.
Hi, Gabby.
I thought you said you were bringing a reporter from St. Louis.
That's right. Meet Connie Edwards, St. Louis Chronicle. This is Gabby Whitaker, the foreman here.
I do.
How do you do?
You didn't say nothing about bringing no girl. Not that she ain't welcome. Come in.
I told you about Jan Holloway. Well, Jan, meet Connie Edwards.
Hello.
This is the foreman over at Jan's ranch, Steve McClory.
How do you do?
How do you do?
And this is Duke.
Hello, Duke.
Hello.
Hello. Well, I guess you all know why you're here. I know fuss and feathers. We'll get right down to reading Sam's will. He came to my office and I drew up his will for him. March 13th it was. Just 2 months before his unfortunate accident. Well, I'll read what it says. I, Sam Talbot, being of sound mind and memory, and not acting under undue influence of any kind, do hereby declare this my last will and testament. I wish to provide for the men who have worked under me faithfully and loyally. The ranch hands, their wives and families who have been living on Flying T Ranch land shall be permitted to retain their homes rent-free for the balance of their lives. Now, Bob, you better go out and tell them. They're waiting to hear.
You bet I will.
Roy, there's something that Sam wanted you to have. It's a book of hymns and old songs. He wanted you to remember a particular hymn, his favorite. He said you'd know what it was.
Thanks, Duke.
I think you'll all be interested in this next paragraph.
Get ready. Here it comes.
To my niece, Jan Holloway, I bequeath the sum of $5,000.
You mean 5 million, don't you?
Read that again. To my niece, Jan Holloway, I bequeath the sum of $5,000. And I leave the entire ranch, the cattle herds, land, and all other assets to Duke Lowry.
Duke, did you hear that, son?
But Jan Holloway is the only legitimate heir. And she's Sam Talbot's only living relative.
That's no concern of mine.
Do you mean to say that Sam Talbot would leave a 12-year-old boy in charge?
Oh, but that's all taken care of. Gabby will act as executor and guardian until Duke becomes of age.
Gabby did this.
And that scheming, meddling old fool?
Just what do you mean?
You planned this. Trying to steal the ranch for the boy so you could get your hands onto it.
You can't say this to me.
Hold it, Gabby. You can't settle anything like this.
No, we'll settle this in court. I'm advising Miss Holloway to contest the will, charging fraud and conspiracy.
By thunder, if I could get my hands on you, I'd...
Just a minute, Gabby. You better leave, Steve.
Just where do you come into this?
Steve, get back to the ranch.
I'm sorry. Well, that's just Steve's loyalty cropping up. He'll get over it.
He'd better. I've been in feuds that started over less.
No more worries, Duke. Nobody can take Ricky now.
That's all I care about.
I hope you won't print any of this little argument, Roy.
I'm sorry, Jen, but I have to print the news, no matter what it is.
Congratulations, my boy.
Thanks.
Well, Duke.
Say, Gabby, don't you think we'd better take the new owner outside and introduce him to his hired hands?
Yeah. Wait till we tell him. Come on, hurry.
Old Sam sure disappointed that girl, didn't he?
He sure did.
He was a sprightly old bird, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
How old was he when he died?
75.
I heard he was killed in an accident or something. Is that right?
Yeah, he was riding home and his horse threw him.
Riding at that age?
I saw him top a bucking bronc when he was 60. He's been riding that old white horse he is every day for years. Say, I wondered why he wanted me to have this hymn book.
Roy, for reasons of my own, I believe something may happen to me. In the event of my death, I am asking you to make an investigation.
For reasons of his own. What do you suppose that means?
It means it wasn't an accident, that he knew he was going to be murdered. And wait till Kennedy hears this.
Connie! Stay away from that phone. We can't print this story. We're not sure of it yet.
What are you, silly? It's a murder angle. It's news.
We're not going to print it.
What did you just tell Jan Holloway? You print the news no matter what it is.
That's different. Do you want to tip off the murderer? Besides, I don't want anybody to know I'm making an investigation.
The Hereford Clarion.
It's the Star.
No wonder you're...
What are you doing here, Devoria?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all, Mr. Rogers. I saw you was talking, so I didn't bother you.
Do you want something?
Well, I was going to tell you and that reporter woman that supper's about ready.
Miss Edwards is not staying.
Oh, yes, I am. I like it here. Clean smell of the country and the fresh air. Why, it's just like a vacation. What are we having for supper, Devoria?
Fried chicken, ma'am.
Fried chicken? With all those filet mignons running around the pasture?
Well, you can't cut up those prize-winning steers for steaks.
That's right. The guest room's ready, miss, at the end of the hall.
Thank you, Devoria.
Connie, we better make a deal on this. We'll work together, but we won't print anything until I say so.
You're setting up the rules, huh?
I'm doing what I think is best.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing with you.
That's more like it.
Oh, my, I left my suitcase in the car, and I guess I'll have to go out and get it.
I'll get it for you.
Thank you. Hello, operator. Get me the St. Louis Chronicle. Quick.
They seem to think that Sam Talbot was murdered. They don't believe he was killed accidentally. That's your Roy Rogers for you.
Roy didn't write this. It was that girl he had with him.
Sure, and he gave her the story.
Where are you going?
I've got a little business to take care of. You won't see those headlines in the paper anymore.
Look, Steve, I'll take care of this. From now on, you're not going to make a move until I tell you.
Well, I hope you know what you're doing. I don't think either one of us like that word, murder.
They can't prove anything. That ranch belongs to me, and I'm going to get it. Nobody knows who Duke is or where he came from. If anything happened to him before that will is probated...
Dan, what are you thinking of?
everlasting hills of Oklahoma, they hold 1,000,000 treasures to be found. Golden grain on hills of green, wave to valleys cool and clean. Too bad some folks have never seen the everlasting hills of Oklahoma. The everlasting fame of Oklahoma will live in names of men she claimed her own. Some were right and some were wrong in history's pages, prose and song. Oh, hail them now, for they all belong to the everlasting hills of Oklahoma.
More.
Say, fellas, will you excuse me a minute? I want to speak to Connie.
Okay, Roy.
Oh, don't go away, boys.
Well, Connie, come over here a minute, will you? What's the idea?
Oh, that? Good story, don't you think?
You don't believe in ethics, do you? You agreed not to print anything.
That might have been your idea. It wasn't mine.
So you end up with a half a story. And it might stop any chance we had to find out if Talbot was murdered.
Look, Roy, I'm a newspaper woman. I print stories while they're hot. It's the printer's ink in my blood. I can't help it.
Okay, if that's the way you want to work, it's all right with me. But from now on, you get your own news.
Oh, that means I write exclusively for the St. Louis Chronicle, and you write for, let me see, I can never remember. Oh, the Bugle.
The Star.
Of course.
Grab your guns, boys.
Roy!
Duke, what's the matter?
There were 2 men outside my window.
They must have been tramps or hobos. I saw them a stepping through. I saw them, too. I saw them.
Hey, look, if you're trying to stage anything for my benefit, you're just wasting your time.
There wasn't nothing to say about it. I hear Duke yell and come out and see what the trouble was. Are you all right, son?
Yeah, but when I went into my room, there were 2 men outside the window.
That's honest truth, Mr. Gabby. I saw them.
Now.
We'll take care of them. Get your horses, boys.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm going with you.
What for? You can read about it in the Star. Keep going, boys. Get the other one.
Well, that's one for the obituaries.
Yeah. Too bad we didn't get a chance to talk to him.
He ain't from around here. None of us ever seen that face before. Did we, boy?
Nope, I never did.
Well, that's even better. Mystery angle, body with no identification.
I wonder who this is. Hello, Sheriff. Hello, Jan. We were just going to send for you, Sheriff.
I'll bet you were.
He's dead, isn't he?
About as dead as they get. Plumb center. Anybody mind telling me how this man was killed?
There were 2 of them prowling around, Sheriff. They started shooting and made a run for it. The other one got away.
Sure like to know what they was up to. I'd like to know a lot of things that are going on around here.
Especially this article about Talbot being murdered.
I'm sorry, Sheriff, but I don't know a thing about this article. It wasn't in the Star.
Maybe you'd better ask Miss Edwards.
Connie Edwards, St. Louis Chronicle, Sheriff. Any statement? Can we expect an arrest within 24 hours?
How do I know? I didn't know anything about this until Jan walked in my office and made a complaint.
Oh, so that's why you're here. Miss Holloway, how does it happen that you're so concerned with this story?
Well, you might as well have said that I killed Sam Talbot. Your deduction was clear enough. I was left out of the will, so naturally Sam must have thought I was going to murder him.
I'd like to know what your information is, young woman, and where you got it.
Oh, well, Sheriff, I'm sorry. I can't reveal that.
Oh, you can't, eh? Well, you listen to me. There's been a man killed here, and you seem to have private information about things. Now, you better start talking and talk fast.
Oh, look, Sheriff, I'm a newspaper woman. We don't reveal the source of our information.
Big town stuff, huh? Well, that might be all right where you come from. But I'll tell you the way this bumpkin police force operates. You won't talk, so you're going to jail.
Jail? Roy, do something. Don't...
I'm sorry, Connie. There's nothing I can do about it. You know how it is in the newspaper business. Just like you told me, it's every man for himself.
Roy, they can't do this to me. You can't keep me here. You get me a mouthpiece, do you hear? Listen, the Chronicle will run you out of office.
That ought to scare me, but I'm sorry I never heard of him.
Well, what about that call to St. Louis? Don't tell me that line's busy again.
Nope, I am.
You come back here. Oh, you...
There once was a gal from St. Louis who went west to visit one day. A judge that she met liked her so much, he gave her 10 years so she'd stay. In a jailhouse, he gave her 10 years so she'd stay.
Roy!
She met a real pleasant
Mr. Rogers!
fellow and gave him a quick double cross. She's a-coolin' her heels in the cell now.
You know, you shouldn't go around breaking people's windows like that. Somebody might put you in jail.
Roy, look, I know you're all burned up. I was wrong. I shouldn't have sent that story in. But you wouldn't let me stay in here, would you?
I'm not so sure about that. At least I know you won't be scooping me on my own headlines.
If you just get me out of here, I won't do it again, honest.
On your honor as a newspaper woman?
On my honor. I'll do anything you say. I'll work with you. I'll even pay for the window. Look, you've got friends, and you can talk to the judge, and you can bail me out, can't you?
Well, I don't want to disappoint all those people who are expecting you at the Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club? Oh, I'd love to go. Can we?
Well, I'll talk to the judge. But not now. I have to get my paper out.
Well, hurry, please.
Connie.
Oh, tell him to bring my coffee in later. Tell Kennedy I said this assignment still...
Connie, it's time to get up.
Hey, where am I, anyway? Oh.
Roy's gone bail for you.
Gee, thanks.
I'll let you go as soon as I fill out your release.
What time is it, anyway?
5:30.
5:30? You mean people actually get up at this hour? What are we going to do, milk the cows?
You're going to the Tuesday morning Breakfast Club, remember?
Oh, Roy, can't they change it to Wednesday? Look at my clothes. I look like I'd slept in them.
We'll take care of that on the way. You looking for this, Cinderella?
All right, Roy, if you'll sign this.
Okay.
I'm releasing you, but don't forget you're coming up in front of the judge Thursday morning, and you better have your answers ready.
Aren't you being a little generous, Sheriff? After all, that gives me almost 2 whole days to solve this murder.
If Talbot was murdered, I'll solve it. If he wasn't, you'll have some tall explaining to do before you can clear yourself.
Well, I'll probably be back, so don't let anyone have my room.
Much obliged, Sheriff.